Hello, everybody. Hope everyone's doing good in this crazy world we're all living in. I just wanted to do a quick intro to say thank you to our friend Wedarobi at his website Patcharobi, who made this video possible to actually have a full-blown modded out of bounds type mod tool versus manipulating code variables and stuff inside of a Project 64 or other emulator. Instead, we actually have a full-blown mod now. So just in order to get this to work and everything, I just wanted to say first and foremost, this is his name. You can Google it, or I'll include a link to his website down below. There are two different versions of the game if you guys aren't aware. There's 1.0, the gray cartridge, and then there's version 1.1, the black cartridge. I personally never owned the gray cartridge. It was supposed to have fixed some problems and errors, and as you guys know, even in 1.1, there's a lot of problems still. So, but that'll be for another video. So what you need to do for this is you need 1.0. You need the gray cartridge emulator. Wherever you get it from, you need the gray cartridge 1.0 to make this work. Go to his website. Give it a second, wait for it to load. The reason being is if you try and do the black cartridge version, it's going to give you an error and say, sorry, you can't, it won't let you. You need the version 1.0. It tells you right there. So drag and drop. Processing, there you go. So AC, Aidyn Chronicles, free cam mod. Here's, yes, thank you so much. And to Viremaster as well for helping as well to make this possible too. Scroll on down, here's your controls, how to get everything done. Go ahead and download the latest and greatest model. That's going to give you the latest tools and everything. We were perfecting it for a while as we were getting going. Not only is it a free cam tool, but also, yeah, I'm going to show you how to mess around with the Alaron speed running thing. Is pretty funny, actually. Um, at the bottom here, he also included a couple links to his Patreon as well as our community. Go ahead, click on that, and you can join our wonderful Discord server, which has now been up and running. And you can actually thank him as well once you join the server. Go ahead and find him under here as a wizard, because he's the one that actually suggested that I make a Discord for Aidyn Chronicles. So go over there, say message him, and tell him thank you for all of his help. I'm glad that we have another person who has software development skills. I'm very technical into the community because I definitely have a lot of ideas for the game, including this is my personal list that I put in the modding tab, all the way from making like a mod where we can port all over to different locations in the area in the game, something like that, all the way to just all kinds of different ideas. I want to see if there's some way we can reactivate the life gym to see if it would kind of work or something like that. So having someone like this on board on our team is pretty awesome. Really appreciate your work, all your help, friend, on this. Huge shout out. I know probably it seemed a little crazy. He's mainly known for his work on Banjo Kazooie. You guys should definitely check out that as well. Um, but yeah, I know Aidyn Chronicles is a bit of a mess just as it is. So I'm sure it was kind of tough to work on. So I really appreciate you sticking through and rolling with the punches and getting the mod completed and everything. But also, if you guys got a little spare cash, you can go donate to his Patreon as well. And then also, shameless plug is shameless. Uh, for the YouTube channel, I included links to the Discord as well, the Reddit, and the Facebook group amongst some of the older ones if you want to go and see like the older stuff from when the game first came out for Neo Seeker. Facebook group's pretty still active as well. And then again, I'll include a link to his site on this video, but also I'm sure Hallie, once I get this posted, he'll put it on the Reddit as well, along with all the other mods and tools and stuff that's available for the game that we could play with. So don't forget to check all those out and join those too. Okay, shameless plug is done. So here we are, right? We're back. We're gonna take the test. Let's click on this one. Top left is left click. Click here to download because we dragged our version 1.0, right? The gray cartridge. Hit done. It says done, thank you. Open this. Show in folder, drag and pull that. Okay, so now we got our Aidyn Chronicles free mod right there, done. So we can close this, open up our mod, Project 64, Nemo or Neo or whatever other ones you're using. But first and foremost, before we open it, make sure you go to your settings, whatever version you're using, go to your defaults and make sure you have the 8 megabit mode enabled, because if you don't, then it actually won't work at all. You'll get this nice little error message. So make sure you change it to the 8 megabit memory mode there. Once you do that, open your ROM. This is the black and the gray. We're going to open up the modded version. It starts up right away. It cuts the intro even a little bit shorter too, which is really nice. Let me make it big for you guys. Okay, so immediately you see it says free cam off, right? So you can enable it right away from here. And in the screen, same thing, just like how you can change the graphics from normal to high. But then also, if you come down here, you can change it to 32-bit color mode, which was taken out of the game, I believe, like last minute. They never finished that. And let me see if it'll show it. See, it'll still just say low or high or normal. And then it'll take it out because I messed it up, but there we go. Gotta remember the controls. So, okay, there's 32-bit. And then with the rest of them, I will play with them once we get into the game. So let's do a new game. Skip the intro. Speed this up. And I'll show you how to play around with this before we get into the meat and potatoes of this video. How many times have you guys seen this intro? Has to be hundreds for all you veteran players. So first, I use save states always. So I'll make a bunch of save states. Does the game look any different in 32 color bit mode? Me, not so much. But okay. So no enemies. That just means when you're by an enemy, right? They're not going to attack you. They're going to remain not hostile and start a fight. Your HUD, you can add and remove the HUD. You can see it removes the compass as well as the sun. Little panel there. Same with these. You can move the camera around a little bit faster. I'll move those up a tiny bit. But the biggest one for me to play with, even here at the beginning, see if I can do it for you guys, is just, standard how Alaron runs. You know how slow he is. It's always been a big thing that we wish we could make him go faster, right? Oops. Wrong button. So now I'm gonna have to do it again, see? So let's say we're gonna move him up. Let's do 5 times speed just to try this out at first. Okay? Hit save before we try this. Now he's running through walls, right? Let's see if we can angle him to where we're at. Oriana's hut is that direction, right? There we go. So I'm going to hit from there and run. Boom. And you could just run through. So I was at the beginning of the game. I skipped the beginning intro there and everything. Let me move these back down too while I'm at it, because that was a little fast for me. Hit save. So even at 2 times speed, it's pretty fast. So pretty nice, right? So this will really help you start moving around, getting going, even if you're not looking for uh, what you can find with the free cam. But yeah, you can go up to 5 times speed if you want to. I'll show you what that looks like real quick, so you can really get going. Be aware though, doing this, yeah, you're going to clip through a lot of walls. So that's going to be an issue there for you too. You can do this during cutscenes, but it really doesn't. I mean, it the speed won't affect it. I mean, but as far as you getting to move around and do paneling and stuff like that, you can do that. Um, but yeah, and let's see. I don't know if it'll make because it's a cutscene for the trolls. Yeah, so the goblins aren't even loaded in yet because I skipped the intro. So yeah, as you can see, now no enemies will attack you. So while you're trying to go find your nice perfect scenic route here, no enemies will actually encounter you and everything. So this is nice. And then as far as the quality, how far you can zoom, you guys are just going to have to play with it depending on which location you're in. As you see for here, it cuts it out pretty close versus where I'm at. Where am I at? If I close it right there. Oh, also if you activate it while you're moving, Alaron will keep running. And if you have your high speed turned on, this could cause an issue and cause error messages. Yeah, sometimes he'll stop, sometimes he'll keep going, but just be mindful of that. Our software programmer friend just told me to be aware if you do this. Probably if you're trying to like find things, be careful and don't do that. But it looks funny as Alaron's running away. So as far as draw distance, again, yeah, that's about what we got. And I would suggest, yeah, once you guys get in and play with it, see what you find and everything. I'm about to show you guys all my latest findings. I ripped the entire game apart, everything, just to see if there's anything different, anything interesting. But this is about how far I got in there. Let's see. So that's all the way halfway. You guys know where the lake is. And then I'm all the way over here. Oh, there you go. That's because I was running. So let's restart and close that out. So that's there. So let's get the meat and potatoes of the video. All right. So I'm going to go through this just basically like you would be playing the game in not trying to skip anything. So just showing off all the different latest and greatest and the findings and everything. So I always wanted to see, I don't know about you guys, what it looks like the portal from underneath, just with the texture and everything, because you can never quite angle your camera just like right to be able to see under it. So there you go. That's what it looks like. Um, Again, yeah, while you're running or you're sneaking and you're using the free cam, it'll slow you down, but it'll keep you moving. If you still, oh, I didn't forgot to mention that you can make yourself move slower as well as 5 times faster. I think that's what I was doing as I was moving slower here, maybe. But I always wanted to see what that potion looks like from underneath, or if it was just one solid texture thing. And it is. It's just the one healing potion in the game. And then once you pick it up, then that's it. That's gone. There's no other healing potions that I'm aware of. And then, so in this town, very early on in the game, right? This is the only building that was used in one of the cinematic cutscenes, right? And it's the only building that actually has windows in it that you can see through that I was able to find. So I found that pretty interesting. And then once you actually load into it or get into it, I mean, or load, when you actually go into the building, as you guys know, then you can't see outside, I mean. But I just found this to be very interesting and had to show it off. Goblin's trying to get it on. Say hello to Alaron while I'm out there. So again, having that extra feature turned on to not have random enemies trying to attack you when you're trying to play around with the camera is nice. Which again, you can use the camera during cutscenes, you can use the camera during battles. Um, so it's very nice too. And then, okay, so this one, again, Kendall's wife, right? The hut. You come back here at the beginning, before you go to the castle and after you go to the castle. I believe there is a fire sound. There's a campfire going. But here, I'll be quiet. There's no fire sound. But there is a fire, a campfire, even when I get close to it or in the actual building itself. And there's just a random campfire out there. So I'm not sure if they had just an extra fire or it's supposed to spawn in to the fireplace for the second meeting, because this was at the meeting right before I got to the town. So I just found that interesting. That's the only building I think that had just a random campfire in the middle of nowhere. And then every inn, I mean, how the camera's set, you can only see from that one direction. So I was like curious, what is on the other side? Those barrels. You saw the barrels, you saw the bucket. What sort of furniture's in here? So there you go. Just a quick little shot. How far away you go before you saw the NPC kind of blink in and out. How far away I got. There you go. Versus before they spawn in. Same thing where you go get the map piece, the cloak potentially. I think gloves might drop here too. Come out. I think so. But for sure, map two, the only map two, the little stable where you're at, what it looks like from underneath and everything. Curious to see what it looks like behind because you can get stuck behind the wall, on the second floor after you open the crate. I think I showed this off here. Yeah, yeah, cloak, map two. And then see, yes, yes. So then you could get stuck literally behind the wall and it'll glitch you out. Sometimes it'll push you back, but for me, there you go. It aired me out there, so I had to reload. So always use your save states, save often when you're playing this game. For all you veterans, you know that very well. Have multiple saves. You can have four saves on the actual game cartridge itself, and then what, 9 or 10 save states. So use them wisely. That's all I got to say. Looking at that, yeah, so you saw what the room looked like from the other side of the crack in the wall, what it looks like when you're not loaded in versus now this angle of it. So you could always only kind of see the gray area, but here you can kind of see what the walls, what the door looks like and everything when you're not actually loaded in from the other side. Curious. I just had to find that out. Now that we finally have an official out of bounds uh, mod that we can use in this game, I went a little crazy. So I know maybe some of you guys don't find this stuff interesting, but I'll tell you, I sure as heck do. I loved doing that. Man, I spent so many hours playing around with this thing. But then, okay, even in the tips, glitches, tricks video I showed here, you can run up on the left or the right side, and then you can fall through the staircase here, and it'll launch you back up. And I always wondered why. And you could kind of see when you did it, but again, only briefly now that we have the camera mod. It's much easier to see from down underneath. It's a total different texture. It's like its own separate texture there. The staircase was black. I hope I go back down and show it again, I think. From a better angle. Yeah. So I think what happens is you get clipped under it and on the side of it between the two different textures, and it just shoves out and it'll let you fall down into it. So I found that interesting because literally you walk up to see the king for the first time and you're already falling through walls or floors if you haven't already started falling through floors again before this because of how buggy and crazy it is. So, always wondered what it looks like. Is there behind Guernia Castle? Well, here you go. So yeah, they did make a full-blown back to the actual castle, but not so much the the tower on the side. can kind of see, yeah, angle it on the side here, but like, why would they put it on the right side like that and the left? I mean, the right, I guess if you're near the bridge, okay, that makes sense. You can kind of see the one side, but you're never really going to look down there unless you're like a person like me that has to like try and break into everything and look at everything. So I found that interesting. This is the only castle versus the only house that we saw that has, yeah, you could go through, like, look at windows, I do believe, as well. So again, where I'm loaded in up above, you can see how some things are and some things aren't rendered in, and then how far, as well as the draw distance, what you're looking at. Assuming this is all just meant for the limited memory space, the RAM, random access memory, yeah, RAM, is why things only loaded so far. And then here, uh, there's a barrel, I do believe. Yeah. So if you're looking behind, like, it looks like there's like a part of a barrel. Yeah. So you can't see it from the angle the game camera makes you go to, but there is an actual other like three barrels back there you can't see normally. So why they did that, I don't know, but I would think you would try and remove stuff like that the character person, the player couldn't see, but I found that interesting. So barrels. Who doesn't love barrels? Right. And then yeah, from the road from uh first town, second town, not really much that I found. Once you get here in Aramon, um did find a couple things. Again, I just like looking at everything, and I always wondered in this hut where you can go buy like herbs and spices. I think the vendors were very limited, is what they had. You can see what the ceiling looks like. I always thought it was really cool, purpley color. Same thing inside like the palace. So had to check it out. Had to get some footage of that too. Good times. And I think I went to the oh no, not next, maybe the next clip, going to the library to see what that looks like as well. But inside the caves, just wanted to check draw distance here too. Going down to get my fireball spell, my starlight shield one from the vendors down there, and see how far. Look at the gate texture. So you can see it looks like it's the same gate, and then it just repeats itself maybe. Like they just cut it, the two sides, to be the gate that only you can see versus, yeah, what it is. I don't know if that makes sense, sorry. But I had to see that, had to check the distance on it and everything. And then you can speed up the distance, how fast, again, it pans in and pans out. Showed that, right? But I just wanted to slowly show you how far you have to get away before it actually disappears and everything. And then yeah, palace. Had to check out the palace. This is the standard music, but then on one of the earlier versions, I remember the music up here was different. Yeah, had to check out the ceiling, what it looks like and everything. The holes in the bottom floor was interesting to me, why they did that and how. Because the camera always pans and follows you, so you can't really see at that kind of an angle what it looks like and what it looks like below when you're up above. So yeah, again, like the carpet there in the middle, you can walk up there on the throne, right? But it's hollow. Okay, yeah, the library, right? With the lighting effect. It's just like a halo thing. Maybe it looks like, right? But then that way when you move around, it always maybe is supposed to increase like the ambiance or something, just to go like, hey, look at this well lit up majestic books and stuff. I don't know. I don't know. But it's the only building I think uh, in this town that has that lighting effect. Or maybe some of the other little houses on the mountain sides do too. It's been a minute. Let's see. Making it out there. Right, 32-bit color mode. Oh yeah, I wanted to show. So certain areas of the game, it'll show different, like the colors start messing up. This is, I think it even happens in the game sometimes, even if you're not using the 32-bit color mode. But I wanted to show it off to see if I could replicate that. See when I'm following, when it with the free cam versus with Alaron himself, you could see different colors against the wall. But later on here in this video, um, random orc just walking towards us. Actually, he's too far away. He's not messing with us. You'll see in the ocean, Port Said, uh, it gets even wilder with the colors. But this is one specific spot. I remember it would always happen when I would play normally on the game, the black cartridge, the 1.1 version as well. But I was hoping to try and get like a better angle of that. I'm curious to see if, or hear if anyone else has had like that happen to them before at other places in the game. And if you like fell through the walls or the hills or whatever or whatnot, wherever you were. And then this, so have you ever went through some of these houses and it looks like there you can kind of see there's another house on the other side? And I always wondered like what house is that? Is that the house down the road? Is that an extra house that they forgot that they put in? But it's the house down the road from where we're at. We're about to go into the third town. And that was the house right as we crossed the lake. There was a gentleman, a guy in there, right? And they just literally post it right next to each other like that. Like the door's different, separate. If you wanted to, um, I think I show it actually, me running over there. Yeah. Oh, from up above. What I wanted to mention is how the free cam mod and the speed up running tool is included. How it works is it's linked to the compass there at the bottom. You can see where you're at. It kind of flips out and goes a little crazy. So when you're actually inside of buildings, your speed will not decrease or increase even if you change it in the HUD menu. Just FYI, that's just the way he uh, modified or programmed it in. And then, yeah, I always wondered, is it a full shape? It's just one 2D texture that just rotates with you versus where you're looking at in the camera. So found that interesting. And then there's no side on that right side there, yeah. Interesting, right? Yeah. And then that's all it'll show. I believe in some of the versions of the game you can go up there. I know in the older one you could. Okay, same thing with here. We're down the road from the town and there's multiple houses. This one has one other one, and then I think another one on the other side of the river has like two houses, so you can see three houses all at once. I wonder why they did that, because especially to save time and space, if that was the reason. Again, I'm not a programmer or a modder, um, but I just know I would just think, I mean, that getting into a house like this and then you're next to the other one, that you're doubling how much stuff the game's having to load in versus just the one house. So I found that interesting. It's like, why? That doesn't make sense as far as like memory and size, but yeah. So if you guys know, I'm curious. I want to know why. And again, during cutscenes, so after you go visit the fairies um, in the forest there, you can kind of see what this looks like as far as during the cutscene. How far? I think I go to the edge. Yeah. So it is like one just gigantic sphere, I do believe, cut in half there. But it will never like fully render in. But this is the same like texture sphere thing used in all the other spirit world cutscenes. And then also, if you die too, then Alaron will say goodbye as he dies on these planes. But if you ever wanted to, if we have other artists, which we had some good artwork, again, shameless plug on the Discord, you can get really good angles of monsters or characters using this mod. So you can get your perfect angles for drawing, making pictures and stuff. Yeah, so you can kind of see the colors on the roof there changing too, just the yellow, not to blue though. But yeah, you see, so this one has three houses and they all share just one singular roof tile. So again, I don't know why they did this because I would think you would only want to load in render one inside of a house, not three to save memory and space. But yeah, that's the way they did it. So I just found it curious because I always thought maybe these were hidden or unfinished houses or anything like that, something like that. You can kind of see, but in the same sense, one of them I think you were able to angle it pretty well. You could see and take a good guess that actually no, it's just the house down the road. But right there, mystery solved. It's just literally the house down the road. Yeah. Yep. Moving on to Port Said or Said, Said, however you want to pronounce it. You know what I'm talking about. This nice little semi rainy, cloudy ish day. You can go all the way over to the tower here versus when you were in the first town of Gornia. You couldn't really see outside of the town or into the town when I was at the castle. But there you go. You could see what it looks like from behind before the camera pans it up. Dual chimneys and all. Even loaded in the big ogre. Good times. And when we go down, we get our Sham Sook's amulet down here, and the yeah, you get the amulet and the lighthouse key. I always wanted to like look up because you couldn't, as far as the camera angle again. One like 2D-ish looking texture for the rope, and then what it looks like. Yeah, the light, kind of like in the same with when we were in the second town there, where it kind of has that light panel just showing what's in the middle to kind of brighten it up. So cool lighting effect for what options they had back then. And yeah, the spiral staircase with the next room loaded in. And again, I'm sorry, I'm not the perfect person at I'm using a Xbox One controller using this. So I'm sure maybe with other controllers or your mouse and keyboard, you could probably become more fluid and smooth with the camera angles and turns and stuff. So I seem kind of janky. So sorry if you get a little disoriented looking at some of these. So yeah, that's the lighthouse before the light, before you activate the scroll and turn it on, and how it's just kind of jabbed down into the ground. And I think I show after I turn it on. But yeah, that's just how far down it is. It's all the way down to the bottom there. Yeah, perfect. Ta-da! And then you can see how it raised, right? And again, when you activate the camera in, even though we were at normal speed, it'll still slow it down a bit versus when you start it up again. So, okay, another one, cutscene, right? Look at the colors out here. It's wild. And remember Alaron? You see him in the corner, right? And the right side, he keeps falling. Like where he's supposed to be on the boat, talking to the captain, saying goodbye and getting ready to leave to Chaos Island, right? But he's over there, falling down repeatedly. There he is. Like you're falling through the floor and so many different parts of the game. And even though the game it slows it down when you're using the free cam again, you can hit F4 or whatever to do the frame limiter skipper thing to speed up the game. And he's still like falling very, very slow. But then yeah, look in the water and everything, how the colors are wild versus on the side of the mountain we were only seeing what like blue and red orange-ish. So now you just got every color down there. There you go. Bad acid trip. I don't know if that's limited colors because of the textures or the game or the emulator, my graphics plugin. I don't know, but I found that to be very interesting. Out here, so there's always, right, one ship. You come on one ship, correct? There's not multiple ships in the Chaos Island. There's one ship, and it breaks down, and you have to wait for it to get fixed and repaired, yada yada, right? But if you zoom out, you're going to find another ship that rotates with you with the camera. Same exact ship, same exact replica, but you could see two of them when you're out far away. I've never gotten it to do this before, like normally in the game. So I wonder if one of the ships is meant for the cutscene versus for once you're when, and then this other ship is for when you're just walking around on the island itself. And then after, you go and you walk in the front door and walk out, and this island's pure evil, and then you leave, and then that's supposed to be the other ship. So, just found that interesting. Like, why is that rendered in still? And then you guys know I had to go and see if I could see about that door, but unfortunately, it's the same thing I showed behind the door too. There was nothing at that door. I can't click onto it or get into it. But I found this in this room. Just wanted to see what underneath the lava looked like and everything. But again, which is why I'm so glad that there's more ITE techie people, modders, getting involved into the game. That could potentially help us, because I want to know if we could make like a master door portal to where you could, just like from a select screen, like in the debug version of the game, see like, take me to this door at such and such place, and maybe we can load into the room or find an Easter eggs like here in the Chaos Island where that door would have went, because that again is still one of the many mysteries I still have not been able to solve yet. So, but hopefully this will just be a little something something until then, that day. Cool face, right? Yep. And then I think, yeah, gotta check out what the mountains look like from afar before we go and rescue our wizard that we're too late to save. He again, I think, yeah, he's gonna follow. He follows the camera too, depending on what angle you're at. He'll just follow you and spin around in circles. But I found this interesting that in the back here, I don't think you leave the ship going this way to see from it afar. So I found it interesting that they made textures for the back of those mountains. You're never going to be able to see or go over there, So why is there backs to those mountains? Just like how, like some of the buildings and structures and stuff, they don't load the full building. They didn't make a full building. So, and again here, like, were we able to go into the castle of Terminer? Was there a castle of Terminer? Was there going to be one? We saw in one of the earlier builds that there was a door to that castle, right? But we never actually, yeah, so you could see like the pots and everything. But yeah, you were never able actually to get into the castle. It was just that one door randomly that was there. Yeah, that's right. Okay. So I just had to see that, what the different levels and layers of it all look like and everything. So, and then of course our floating tree. Everybody knows about that one, but has anyone ever wondered what it looks like inside of a tree? And then of course our Truman Show star that we uncovered in our other video turned out to be one of those little like floodlight movie film lights. You can see at a much better angle now that we have a free camera versus manipulating variables in the game's code. Well, I guess we're doing the same thing technically with the mod, but anyway, you know what I mean. Yeah. So, again, my theory that it was just a leftover light they forgot to remove in the third cutscene when the dragon names you. And if you've ever wanted to see, yeah, what the top of the crypt looks like, same kind of thing here with the houses. Like where you can see there was like 2 or 3 different houses. You can see from here, you're actually not going up or down. You're actually on the same level when you go, air quote, down below to the second level of the crypt tombs here. And I think from that one far right corner there, you actually could kind of move the camera and manipulate it to where you could kind of see it. But here, yeah, it looks like you're going down a ladder, but you're not. And I think even if you're quiet and turn up the volume, you could hear like the zombie on the other side over there. But okay, so Sam Shook's Tower. A lot of interesting things, a lot of random textures. Like this is another room that's loaded in for some reason. Maybe they just forgot to remove it again. That's below the level we're at again, so it could be the same thing. But yeah, I found a lot of just interesting things. How they did the lighting and everything in here is pretty cool. Just with that music, come on. One of the best tracks from the game. What I was really after coming up here is looking at like the dismembered fairies and stuff and all the crazy like gruesome stuff. You can just see, yeah, it's like one singular texture of like flowers and stuff. And if you're on Windows, I think it's Windows Shift S or Windows Shift R. Then you can left click and drag and you can take screenshots of anything in this and zoom in or zoom out of it. Or if you're on mobile, you can just pause and zoom in and zoom out if you wanted to see something that I moved too quickly on. Just as a little FYI. Or take a screenshot of it, however else you do. Yeah, check this out. So, is it supposed to be the bird enemy, right? The griffin? Or what is this supposed to be? And what is that machine? What are they pumping into him? Right, the fairy? Is it one of the fairies? Is it something different? What is this? That's definitely supposed to be some blood. Then yeah, there's some textures from far away like this that doesn't matter how fast you move towards them, they're always going to keep moving away from you. Kind of like also I found out I was trying to get to the sun, and the sun is, you're never going to be able to even like increase the movement speed to the maximum. You're never going to be able to get to the sun just the way it's set up in the texture and everything. I'm probably explaining it terribly. Hopefully maybe someone else will explain it better than me. But the way the game's set up, yeah, you can never like take the free cam to the sun. Long story short. I tried, trust me. Oh, I hated that fight in here. That damn right, kept using Frozen Doom on me. Oh yeah, and then in the other version, I was able to get down here and try and click on to this texture, but it's not a door. Every time I would be able to get down there, I'd try and click on it. Yeah, and then I get aired out, of course. But it would just launch me to another part of the desert. So it's just, again, a random texture. I was hoping it was a door that would lead me, a secret door that they shut off to like a hidden debug room or something, but nope, no, not a chance. At least not currently with the tools that we have. But yeah, that's what it looks like inside the town, what the skeleton looks like of the dragon from long, long ago. You can see the full bit underneath there, yeah. Interesting stuff, right? Our little dust devil guy. Our little clouds that I found random are little bubbles. And then this, so yeah, there's 3 rooms in here. I think it's the green I'm gonna go to. Is that it looks like it's just like a lot of rooms where it's one big sphere that keeps moving, and it's supposed to be, you're looking at like stars all around you. It's supposed to be very mystic and majestic, I guess. But one of the rooms, the texture is off. So I wanted to show that, but I also wanted to show, yeah, what the door looks like, what it looks like above, because you can never really see above. Yeah. Yeah, it was a green one. So you see, it's not the white stars in here, but there is some stars down there. So I think what this was just a oops and wasn't fixed to move the spherical stars from putting them in correctly up above where they were supposed to be versus, yeah, down here below. Then maybe because, yeah, that one chunk was missing the side. And then, yeah, what the little sphere thing looks like from above. A little gem. Going to the inn. Oh, Shola. Just make sure if you're playing the game, if you save and reload, her intelligence goes, what, down to 3? Or 1, or whatever it was. But again, I always just want to look outside, like, what is out there? How far did they make it go as far as the draw distance, which was very small in a lot of these instances, especially like this in the inn. They didn't have like multiple rooms rendered in. Again, assuming just to save space. I mean, there's no real need to have the room down below loaded in. But still pretty cool to see how tall they make everything. And then, yeah, again, this draw distance, I always wondered, like, is this waterfall supposed to be outside, right? It's supposed to be right outside where the palace is and everything and whatnot, but fat chance, no. It's just a single texture in the background with little waterfalls there. I don't think I got a really good shot of it, kind of on the angle on the side, but not zoomed in. But yeah, again, we can all say it's running water down like a waterfall, especially from the angle, that we're at. There you go. Another one from the side. Nice track too, right? Throne room. Again, same thing, just like elongated, and then the bottom part with the stars instead of just one small little spherical thing spinning around and around and around. Yeah. Again, I'm just curious. I want to know what things look like from below or from up above. So I had to look from underneath and see what it all looked like. With a nice little comet or meteor shower falling down and everything, close up of the stars. Get interested in your star magic, your web of starlights. Oh, there you go, more colors with the weird lights. I always wondered every time you're talking to him here, he just like randomly flies way up into the sky and then disappears. I don't know if that's what they meant for him to do or whatnot. And then, yeah, when you're talking and the camera's supposed to be looking at him, Alaron's not loaded in. I mean, the sword is, but not Alaron himself. So, found that interesting. How come he, instead of floating all the way up and then just glitching back down, he didn't float back down? I'm assuming that's what they wanted him to do, but again, I'm just taking guesses at how far away everything looks and everything, whatnot. Oh yeah, and when you give back all of the items, there was always this one statue that had that blinking eye. And I always wondered, is there something you're supposed to do? Is there something, because from the one angle it looks like both eyes, but then from the other angle it looks like just the right eye, and there's nothing behind. And again, that's another mystery. Is there any foolproof method to keep all the items legit in the game without cheating from the tombs here? Still another unsolved mystery, but I wanted to show at a better angle what the light is. And there's our little bubbles, mushroom cloud, little wind dust devil clouds that will sometimes randomly spawn in different places, even though the dust devil's dead. Yeah. And that's cool, right? How they loaded the full texture for this instead of cutting it in half versus what we've seen in other things. So you can see, yeah, the back, the side. Yep. Still got to give away our items. So sad. Some of the best items in the game. Single texture from above. And then, yeah, looking at Lugash, before you go up there, you can see in the other room from the horn, which again, in the base vanilla game, I only owned version 1.1, the black cartridge, until later did I start playing around with other versions of the game, 1.0 and all the mods and everything. I never saw the gate that was underground going into the side little room there with the horn. And of course, I never got to see what it looks like. Uh, oh yeah, that was me running when I entered into free cam, and then I triggered the cutscene, so I had to reload. So again, hold still before you activate it, and or make sure you use save states. Little room where you get your spell breaker's axe, right? Which isn't loaded at all. And then same with the bridge or the gate up there. Like you can't see it from below. or currently there at that angle that I'm at. Like how you can see the gate at the other place there. And that's just random bubbles. The dust devil's gone and just came back up, I think, and I just saw random bubbles or dust spurts that disappear after a while. Or yeah, these ones come back. So they have a mind of their own. Good times. Good times. Yeah, because the other ones I think I ran into, they'll disappear when you get close to them. Those ones just stayed. So going into the dragon cave, going to go get our name. Just wanted to see what the little side cave crevices looked like. Scary creepiness, huh? Crazy again how tall they made everything look so you can see from an angle versus the ceiling part. Go say hi to our dragon friend. Give us our name, our true name. So, yeah, same for the dragon. You know they have a full model of the dragon for the cutscene, right? But for here, when he's just hanging out in his lair, he's not the full dragon from the back area, only partial. And the sides, yeah, you can see there are textures all around. They're just really dark textures. Yeah. Oh, there you go. He does his little chomp chomp with his mouth. All right. So that's all the clips that I had. Again, make sure uh, you turn on you after you download the mod and everything from the website and everything. You have it on the 8-bit emulator there. Um, and that's pretty much it. That's all I got, guys. So for this video, I hope you really enjoyed it. I really hope that you guys actually will try and download it and play with it yourself as well. Um, and see maybe there's things that I missed even. I did go through it pretty extensively. It was a while back. I literally moved to the other side of the world for work. So I haven't posted this in a while. So that's why such a huge gap between me actually posting it versus when it came out. As you see, I think it came out, what, like 10 months ago, a year. So, but definitely, I want to see what you guys can find out here. I don't think, or no, I did show that off already, huh? Great tool, great little mod. I love it, love it, love it. So many fun little tools, so many things you could play with in here. Let's see, how slow can I make him? If he wasn't slow enough, there you go. Make him run half the speed. Try playing the entire game running with Alaron like that. Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good. No thanks. Thank you, but no thank you. But I found that interesting. Um, but okay, yeah, definitely download it, give it a shot. Again, really appreciate it, friend, for your help and everything. Join all the fun socials and everything. And yeah, look forward to hearing from you guys and talking to you in the next one. I'm thinking I'm probably gonna do a beginner's guide next, because even to this day, I mean, there's still people joining. We're getting up to 300 members here on the Reddit, and just not even a week ago, there was someone saying that they were completely new that is coming in and gonna join and try the game out and everything. So I'm thinking I'll probably do a beginner's guide next. Will probably be the next little venture I do whenever I get around to it, which will probably be what, 7 months ago since I last up. So maybe in another year. Hopefully sooner before that, but yeah. All right. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it for you guys tuning in and everything, and look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye. Sorry, not quite done yet. Forgot about picture time. Had a couple little extras I wanted to share with you guys for the next few minutes, and then I swear I'm pretty sure I'm going to be done. I'm not going to add anything else to this unless future me wants to share something. But here's the tentacles, the top of them. Just being able to zoom out a little bit more so you can see them. Yeah, maybe if I don't do the beginner's guide, or maybe I'll do that too. Maybe get into YouTube Shorts. I don't know. We'll see how things go. Yeah, that's it. You know where this is, right? For the veterans inside Shamsuk's castle. I just wanted to zoom out and see if the whole section loads, or is it just one separate section, but regardless, third, middle, or inner ring, it'll load the full thing. And then, so yeah, you just beat the boss battle, final boss battle. The king is still alive and standing for the first frame. I found this to be interesting, right? Because he's supposed to be injured and dying. Boom, next frame. Alaron, right? If you have her, if Brenda survived this long in your party. So I found that to be interesting. And then just a quick, yeah, little close up in regards to that fire. Just looks like the standard fire sprite, campfire sprite, but it was taken out for some reason or pushed to the side. Another picture of the kitchen. Can't go wrong there. Again, looking at barrels and boxes and stuff, you kind of can't see from the player's angle, but just inside of what it looks like. Same thing with the windows. Just a little bit better of a picture. The only house next to the castle that does that. And another temple, another teleporter, I mean. I think it's just so interesting how it looks so different from below, but not above, but you can never see them technically. And then, yeah, so I talked about this where I wasn't able, I was able to get underneath to that little graphic sprite thing. But again, it's not a door. I couldn't get into it. I wish I could have. I don't know what I was trying to show here with the boats and the parasailing. Maybe if I could see like another boat in the background, but yeah, in the desert, that was not a door. It was just a random little graphic that was stuck down underneath the desert. Before I tried touching it before it launched me across the map and I got an error message. So, yeah, another mystery for another day. This is just a better screenshot of, yeah, the king. You could see his face and everything versus you walking around and looking at him. So you can see definitely probably the same model, just like a ditto version or a stone version of him. And then, yeah, same thing. Difference on the other side there, as I've shown in other videos. Can't go wrong with what's down the well. You would think you would see sunlight versus, or something, versus what we see when we go underneath. If we did, I mean, not like in a, what's it called? Port Said. So that's about it. So again, thank you guys so much for watching and really appreciate it. And stay tuned for the next one. Have a great day.